Hello everybody, my name is Teeler, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make your own clicker game. It's pretty simple, straightforward. This might be a bit of a series, might not, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. But anyway, assuming you have Unity, you're just going to want to hop in here and hit New Project, and make sure you're on 2D Core. And for this, I'm going to call it Tutorial Clicker. And hit create project and wait for that to load up. Okay, so once your scene is loaded, you should be presented with a window that looks a lot like this. If your layout is a bit different, you can hit Windows, Layouts, and select whichever one you like. I recommend not using forest split because forest split is a little more complex. We're not going to be using that, but wide is okay. It's all up to you, really. It's just preference. I'm just going to be sticking with default for this. But anyway, first thing you want to do is we're going to create a button. So we're going to go down here to UI, Legacy, and Button. And when we do that, it's automatically going to create an event system and a canvas for our button. We need these to actually function the game, basically. The canvas shows all of your UI elements, so anything that you pull from the UI section here will be displayed on the canvas. But right now, as you can tell, if you were to switch to game, it looks right, but it's because our canvas is way up here, but our camera is way down here. So what we're going to do actually is we're going to click on our canvas here, and over here on render mode, where it says screen space overlay, we're going to click that and change it to screen space camera, and then drag our main camera over here to this slot right here, and now we have our camera and our canvas are merged into one object, basically. Also, if you want your game to be maybe 1080p or in a certain kind of format, we're going to go into our game right here, and where it says free aspect, you want to drop down on that and hit 16 by 9. So now it will set to a certain resolution. So now that we have our button here, I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger. So first off, whoops. Okay. First off, now that we have our button, we're going to make another text to display the score that we get after clicking the button. So right click on canvas, UI, legacy, text. You can name this whatever you want. I'm just going to put score so we can keep track of our items here. So then to take our score, bring it up above the button. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Increase our font size and center out the alignment over here. So now the text is in the middle of our text object. And just as a reference here, I'm just going to put score and then a number like that, just so we can see what it looks like when we do have numbers in there. Alright, so now that we have that, we're going to make a game object over here. So we'll just go right click, create empty, and we're going to name this game manager. So the game manager is going to hold our main script that controls everything in the game. Let's make another couple buttons here. So let's just rename this main button here to main button. And then we're going to go and select UI, legacy, and add another button. And I'm going to name this one upgrade 1. Bring this down here and hit Control D to copy, and we'll just make a couple of these, and you can place them wherever you want. That's just personal preference, but I'm just going to put them there like that for now. So in these buttons here, we're going to make other texts, but we'll leave that for another time. Right now, the main thing we want to focus on right now is actually getting score when we click this button. So we have our text that shows our score, and we have the button to initiate the score going up. So we need to make a script that actually makes this work. So we're going to go down to your assets, create, And let's just make a new folder and call it scripts. And then in our scripts folder, you're going to right click again, create, and C# script. And I'm going to name this game manager script. Okay, so now that we have that, just double click it. Oh, oh yeah. So yeah, you double click your script and it will open in whatever text editor you have. If you don't have Visual Studio, it might open up in Unity's default one. I believe it's called Mono Code or Mono Script or something. But I highly recommend you get Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code, something like that, so you can actually see the syntax when you're coding. So it has these colors, and you can actually see what you're doing, kind of thing. So first off, before we do anything in our script, we need to initiate using UnityEngine.ui, because we're using UI elements in here. So basically, the UI dropdown right here. So we need to implement that, because right now if we were to try and reference our button, it's not going to know what a button is because we don't have the UI element in here. So we're just going to copy this and put .ui. So now we're using Unity Engine and UnityEngine.ui. So I'm going to get rid of these comments. Start happens at the beginning of the game, clearly, and update just happens once per frame. So if you're running 60 frames a second, this is going to happen 60 frames a second. The easiest thing to do about this is actually put fixed update, because update is going to depend on how many frames you're actually getting. So if you're running this game at 120 frames, this is going to happen 120 times a second. But if you have fixed update, it will only happen 60 times a second, or whatever you set the base frame rate to. So we're going to set that to 60. So fixed update is going to happen every 60 times a second. So basically, what we need to do is we need to reference our text to display our score. So what we need to do is go to public text, and we're just going to hit score text like that. And then we need another variable for our actual score. So we're going to do public int score. So now we have our score and score text. So down in our update, what we're going to do is we're going to make score text dot text equal to score space and then plus score. So basically this is going to say score, and then it's going to put the number that we have for our score. So we can save that. If we want to test this real quick, what we can do is just set the score variable here to a number, say, I don't know, 596, save it, go back into Unity, and then if we put this script on our game manager, click game manager, and over here we have score text, and it says none. This is where we want to drag our actual text object, right? So score text, game manager, drag your score text over to score text. So now this game object is referenced in our script, and it knows what we're talking about when we're referencing it. So by default right now, it just says score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can set this to nothing or whatever like that. But then as soon as the game starts, it will be setting the text to score and then our score once every frame. And since we have it set to 596, as soon as we start the game, it should say score 596. And there we go. So right now nothing happens when we press our button. So that's what we want to fix. So let's get rid of that number there. So our score by default is just going to be 0. So what we need to do is make a function for when we click the button. So we're going to do public void, and let's just call it main button press, like that. And then the easiest thing to do here is to do score plus plus. So every time that this function is called, it's going to increment score plus 1. Let's save that, go back into Unity, So this script is now updated, and we have the script on our game manager script, so we don't have to mess with that much. If the score there didn't go back to 0, just type in 0. So now what we need to do is click on our main button, scroll all the way down, and you'll see this on-click function right here. List is empty. You're going to hit this plus sign, and for the object right here, you're going to take our game manager and put it in there. So now any script that's on our object can be referenced by clicking this button. So in here you can reference the game manager script that we made because it's attached to this game object. And then now we can set the function that we made, main button press, because it's a public function, so it's accessible by all kinds of other things. If it was private, we wouldn't be able to see it here. But so we're just going to click on that main button press. So now every time that we click this button, main button press that we made here is going to be called, and which increments the score by 1. So every time we press the button, it's going to increment our score by 1. So we'll just hit play. Score equals 0, and there we go. Simple as that. So now what we need to do is make a little upgrade. So for our upgrade 1, right click on it, go to UI, legacy, text, and let's name this price. Drag it up a little bit, center it out, and then maybe make this font a little bit bigger. Let's go like 20. So we're going to do price and then a random number. So that's what it's going to look like. So basically, we need to update this text every frame, same as we're updating our score. So what we're going to do is go into our game manager script. We're going to type in public text upgrade 1 cost text, and we're going to make public we'll just do integer, I guess. Public int upgrade 1 cost. And so by default we can set this cost to say 25, so equals 25. So now in at the bottom of our script here, we want to make another function for clicking that button. So we're going to do public void upgrade 1 by. Okay. So now in our update here, we want to do upgrade 1 cost text dot text equals price plus upgrade 1 cost. So now it's going to say price and then however much it costs, which is 25. So for upgrade 1 by, when we click the button, we're going to take away the cost from our score, and then we're going to add some sort of multiplier to our click. So what we'll do is say score minus equals 25, because that's how much it costs. And then we're going to make a new variable, actually, and it's going to be private because we don't need to see this in our editor. And it's not going to be accessed by anything else, really, not yet at least. But private int click multiplier, or actually we'll do click amount. So by default the click amount is going to be 1, so every time we click it goes up by 1. So instead of score plus plus here, we're going to take this out and we're going to do score plus equals click amount. So whenever we click the button, it's going to go up by click amount, which is 1 by default. So then when upgrade 1 is bought, we're going to set click amount to go up by 1. So every time you buy it, our click will go up by 1. So let's just try that. Save it, go back to Unity. Click our game manager here, and now we have upgrade cost and upgrade cost text. Same thing as our score. So we need to drag over the text that we have right here. So for our price text, drag it over there. And then on our upgrade 1 button, we want to scroll down here, and we want to do the same thing that we did for our main button here. So just click plus, drag over the game manager script, and then instead of main button press, we're going to do upgrade 1 buy. So now when we click this button, upgrade 1 buy is going to be triggered. So now we can test this. And so if we click, we go up by score. And if we hit this, we lose 25, and now we go up by 2. I just realized though, actually, we never set an if variable, so you can just buy this as many times as you want. What we need to do, actually, is inside of our upgrade 1 buy, we need to make an if statement. So if score is bigger than or equal to upgrade 1 cost, so 25. If we have more score or just enough to buy it, then we'll do this. And instead of 25 here, score takeaway, we're going to do score takeaway upgrade 1 cost. Okay. So now we can save that. Come back. Test it again. So now if we hit this button and we don't have 25, nothing happens, right? If we have 6, nothing happens. 17, nothing happens. But if we have 25 or higher, it'll take 25 away and then apply the multiplier to our click. So we can do the same repetition with each button, basically. So for upgrade 2, we're going to do the same thing, add another text for the price, UI, legacy, text, name it upgrade 2 cost, drag it up a bit, center it, I'm going to put it 20 again, and just what seems to get it done, we'll just put the text on the upgrade 3 as well while we're doing it. So upgrade 3, legacy, text, upgrade 3 cost, center it out, 20, okay. So let's go back to our game manager script. So now we have upgrade 1 buy. Now we need to do the same things basically for upgrade 2 and 3. So what we're going to do is just highlight these and hit Control D to copy. Oh no, maybe not. Okay, just Control C to copy, and then just paste this 2 more times. So now we have these. So we go upgrade 2 cost, upgrade 2 cost text, upgrade 3 cost, and 3 cost text. So the initial cost for upgrade 2 I'm going to set to say 100, and then for upgrade 3 I'm going to set it to 250. So now if we come down here, we need to copy our upgrade 1 buy and paste 2 of these as well for upgrade 2 and 3 buy. So upgrade 2 buy and upgrade 3 buy. So now we need to set these variables. So if score is bigger than or equal to upgrade 2 cost, take your score away by upgrade 2 cost and up the amount by say 10 per click. And then for upgrade 3 buy, you just change these again, upgrade 1 to 3. And then for the click amount, I'm going to make this go up by 25. So now we can save that, come back to, oh, sorry, hold on. We didn't set the text actually. Upgrade 1 cost text, I'm going to copy and paste 2 of these as well. Upgrade 2 cost text and 3, 2, 3. And there we go. Now we can save, come back to Unity. And now in our game manager we have a few things that aren't set. So we have the text here for upgrade 2 and the cost text for upgrade 3. So we want to drag those over. So upgrade 2 cost, drag that. Upgrade 3 cost, drag that. And you can see the costs for them right here, actually 25, 100, and 250. You can set these to whatever you want here in the editor if you'd like, but if you update the script, it's gonna kind of mess with it. It's just the way the Unity editor works. If it's public, then if you change it in the script, you kind of need to reset your script. So you're kind of better off changing it here actually. But just remember that if you change it here, it doesn't actually change it in the script. Like I could change this to 100, but then if I come back to the script, it's still 25, right? So you just gotta be careful of what you change and trying to memorize what you change in the editor compared to what you change in the script. So now that we have our text dragged over, we need to set the buttons. So we need upgrade 2 button. Drag our game manager over, game manager script, upgrade 2 by. And we do the same thing for upgrade 3 button here. Drag over game manager script, upgrade 3 by. And that should be all done. So now we have the text set to update once a frame of the prices and our score. And it should take away the cost of the buttons when we click them, and it should upgrade our click amount. So basically, I'm going to set another variable here just so we can see what our click amount is. So we have click amount. What I'm going to do is make a public text click amount text. And then in our update, we're going to, underneath our score, we're going to do click amount text, click amount text dot text equals, let's say click amount plus per click, like that. Save that. Okay, and now in our canvas, we can just copy our score text, drag it over, say, here somewhere. And this will say per click. I'm just going to bring the size down on this a bit. So there we go. So now we have our per click text. So in our game manager, we have click amount text right here. Drag this over into there. I'm going to rename this to per click text. Okay, so now we have per click text, score text, all our upgrade buttons and prices. We're all good pretty much. So let's just hit play. And now we can see we're getting 1 per click, 1 score per click. If we go up to 25 and we buy our first upgrade, now we're getting 2 per click. So it actually reflects on what we have. And we have our prices down here, 25, 100, 250. And so we can just keep going with this basically, however way you want to do it. 15 per click, right, 25. So yeah, pretty simple stuff. Right now the background is just blue like that. What we can do with that actually is go to our we go to our main camera here, and for background, well, we can either hit we can do a skybox if you'd like, but you kind of need to add your own skybox for that. It's a little bit more complicated, but I recommend just going to solid color here, hit the color, and you can change it to whatever you want. We have a preview right here, right? So you can kind of see what it looks like without actually having to switch. So I'm just going to go with a kind of a neutral color here. not white, but you know, kind of brownish, you know what I mean, like a beige. So it's a little, it's not too bad on the eyes kind of thing, you know. So there we go. We have our main setups right now. So from here you can literally just move your buttons around if you like. Oops, I resized that. Move your buttons over here or something, and then you could even copy and paste these three and then just do three more buttons for something else. There's lots of things you can do with this. Basically, you can also change the text that's in these buttons so they don't just say button, obviously. If you wanted to, you can actually take our per click text, put it down here, and drag this into our main button, and then delete the old text. So now as we're clicking and buying upgrades, the amount of clicks that we're getting is actually shown on our button. Just like so. And so the text for these buttons here, you can either get rid of them if you want, or you could put the description of how much it's going to go up, basically. So let's just say, let's rename these texts. So text 1, we'll put upgrade 1 amount. And then we'll do upgrade 2 amount. Upgrade 3 amount. Okay, so now that we have those, let's set them in our script. So we're going to go public text upgrade 1 amount text, and let's just copy this 3 times, or 2 times, sorry, make 3 of them. Okay. And then we need to bring these down to our update. So upgrade 1 amount text dot text equals okay, so we actually need to set these variables first. So instead of just having it set to 1, 10, and 25, we might want to change those later on. So we're going to set these as variables instead. So we're going to, up here above our 3 texts we just made, we're going to do public int upgrade 1 amount, and then copy and paste that 2 times, 2 and 3. And then so our first one here, our upgrade 1 is 1, whoops, equals 1, and then it was 10, and then it was 25. So now down here, where 1 is, we're going to do upgrade 1 amount. For 10, we'll do upgrade 2 amount. For 25, upgrade 3 amount. And now for our text here that we didn't finish, now we can put these variables into the text. So we're going to, let's say, in quotations, put a plus, and then outside quotations, put another plus, and then we will do upgrade 1 amount plus, and then we'll add another string per click. So it will say plus 1 per click. So we're going to copy this, do 2 more times, 2 and 3, and 2, 3. And we're basically done. So now if we come back into our Unity, click on our game manager, we now have 3 more texts that we need to drag over and set. So these are the actual button texts. So we're going to do upgrade 1 amount, upgrade 2 amount, upgrade 3 amount. So now we have those, we hit play, and there we go. So it's priced at 25 and you gain 1 per click. Just like so. Easy stuff, easy stuff. So now after that, we can actually do a little bit more with this stuff. We can make it so these buttons increase in price each time we buy them. We can make it so maybe after you hit 10 buys, like you can have levels attached to these. So like, you know, upgrade level 1, upgrade level 2, and you know, etc. And you can maybe once you hit level 10, there's an ability that goes with it or something like that. Very simple stuff. It's not that difficult. But I'm going to end this video here. I might make another video on this if you guys enjoyed it. Just let me know in the comments, and if you guys want more of these, I'll make more and maybe add on to this tutorial build that I have going here. But I hope you guys enjoyed this and that you learned a little bit. Stay tuned. I'll probably be uploading more of these. Have a good one.